are you playing?
Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of What Are You Playing? The show where I talk about games, give you my opinions on them, and talk a lot of shit. And I stepped up the ante this week. I'm standing up, I've got a TV. I'm going places. So I wasn't here last week as I was in Sweden. The Overkill guys flew me and the boys out. We did some big Crime Fest live stream Payday thingy-majig. It was really awesome. I'll leave a description in the link. A link in the description. You can go check it out yourself. It was really fun. I had a blast, made some good friends there, and oh man, it was really great. I recommend checking it out. So aside from being in Sweden, what have I been playing? Well, it's pretty obvious I've been playing Payday since we did the Overkill stream. I actually really enjoyed the game, so I've been playing it quite a little bit at home. I'm pretty bad at it, so when my gameplay videos go up, you're not going to be very impressed, let's be honest. You're probably going to think I'm the worst gamer of all time. It's very hard though. I mean, it's definitely not too noob friendly, let's be honest. But I'm enjoying it. I'm not very good at those kind of games, especially stealth games. I'm terrible at stealth games, but I don't know, I'm enjoying this game. It's good. It's been out for a while, so I'm kind of a bit late on the bandwagon with that game, but I am with fucking most things in life, so you know. As always, I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles. That game is long as balls. So every week, you're probably going to see me talking about Xenoblade Chronicles at some point. I've actually just got to the point where if you play the game, got to the point where you get Ricky and Melia or something. I don't like Melia, she's really boring. I don't like Ricky either, so I got two really lame characters in my party now, which is a bit weird. But overall, the game's really fun. I'm still really enjoying it. I kind of play it for an hour or two before I go to bed, so I'm making very, very slow progress. But I'm sure I'm going to beat the game eventually because I'm enjoying it. So again, I'll update you next week of where I am on the game, as I'm sure it's going to take me a long time to beat this fucker. What else? What else? Oh, I bought the Evil Within, of course. I was kind of a bit about this game because as you guys probably know, I hate horror games. I can't stand them. But then again, I have played Condemned, Condemned 2, I played Dead Space, so I'm really weird with horror games. Some horror games I'll play, some I won't. Third-person horror games I'm fine with. I don't know why, just third person's fine. Games like PT where it's first person, just thinking about that game freaks me out. I can't do for some reason, apart from Condemned, but again, that game was scary as fuck. That's the thing, see, I say to the boys, I don't like scary games. But then they say to me, well, you played Condemned. You played Condemned too. Like, why are you scared of this shit? But I don't know, really. I think because I played Condemned on a really tiny, shitty TV, it's like horrible quality. During the day, I was younger, my mom was on the phone, like, in the background, so I kind of took away the atmosphere a bit. So whereas now, obviously, I've got this big TV in my room at night, and it's, like, speakers are loud. So I don't know. Either way, I'm really enjoying Evil Within so far. It's very Resident Evil-y. Resident Evil 4-y, I would say. It's kind of got a bit more focus on the horror, which I think is good. Resident Evil 6, for example, was a pretty bad game, let's be honest. I mean, Leon's campaign was okay, but the rest was trash. I mean, it was just boring, and it was just action, and it wasn't even scary one tiny bit. I think only one part in Resident Evil 6 made me scared was when you were playing as the fucking Wesker's adopted son or some shit. And you climb down some ladder, and it's just some weird mannequin, like his head's like decapitated, and it's like on the wall, its body's like, it's really weird. It's just this mannequin on the wall. And I remember just playing it and being like, what the fuck is that? Because I hate mannequins. They're one of my biggest fears. They really scare the shit out of me. And I was like, that's scary. Okay. And then I took a right, and then you leave and you go outside, and it's like back to normal action. So it was kind of like this one little moment where I was like, fuck this game, but then it went back to being like, oh, it's boring, shooty game. Evil Within, I mean, it's very similar, but at the same time, it's pretty different. Like I said, it focuses more on horror. It feels very Resident Evil-y when you get headshots and the way you shoot and blah, 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 but obviously you can move. It's a lot harder than Resident Evil. I'm really bad at this game. It took me like 10 attempts just to kill the first boss, which is without any spoilers, but it's a guy with a chainsaw. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. It's in a barn. It took me, I'll play with my stepbrother, and it took us like maybe 20 attempts actually, now I think about it, to beat him. And I only beat him because I got him trapped in some house, and I kept spamming this button, the spikes kept going up from under the ground. So I'd hit him, and then he'd go, ugh, and I'd do it again. I kept doing that till he died. And it's really funny. I wish I was streaming it because I had the tiniest bit of health, and I was running around for about 5 minutes just away from this thing, dodging all the zombies somehow, and I just lured him down into that house, and I managed to do it. That's one of the greatest moments of gaming that I can think of that's happened to me this year. So now that I think about it, the fact that the game made me have that amazing moment was pretty cool in itself. So I guess I will remember the Evil Within for that. It was pretty tense, it was scary, but when I finally beat that fucking thing, oh man, me and Dan were just, we started clapping. We're like, whoa, my God, we did it. So I haven't had that feeling in a game in a long time. I'm really enjoying it so far. I have no idea what's going on with the story though. And the main character's like... He's like fucking Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy. You know, you're in some mental asylum and then 3 hours later, 3 hours into the game, he goes, "This place is weird. We gotta get out of here." It's like, well, no shit. It blows my mind how weird this character is. He falls into a big bath of blood at the start. He's just kind of like, just swims out of it and doesn't give a shit. Like, what the anyway, I'd recommend checking it out. I'm on chapter 7 or 8 right now. So I guess I'll give you my progress on my review of it next week. And now you know what time it is. And it isn't Ryan time. It's game of the week. ZombiU. Now, this game is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated games of all time. It didn't do spectacular with reviews. It did good, but not spectacular. But I mean, I was hooked. I was addicted to this game, man. I would say this was the best launch game the Wii U had. Like, yeah, I had Mario, I had a few other things, but I found myself playing ZombiU a lot more than any of the other games. And it was just so tense. You only have one life, pretty much. So if you die, that's it. Like, you gotta go back. I mean, you respawn as a different character, so essentially you do have, like, you know, infinite lives. But, I mean, if you die, you gotta go back, and you gotta kill your zombie self who died to get your equipment back. It is tense. It is scary. Especially the part in the fucking preschool. There's a boss there. If you guys have played it, oh man, that part's scary as fuck. So, there's a survival mode on it where when you die, you don't respawn. You got one life, that's it, and you see how far you can get. And I spent so many times doing it. I even used to stream it all the time, actually, me trying to attempt and try and do it. I got pretty far. I got pretty good at the game. I think at one point I was like 4th on the leaderboards on survival. I'm probably not anymore. I'm definitely assuming I'm not anymore. But I was pretty proud of that. I haven't really, apart from Gears of War, I was like ranked fucking 16 or something. Which is pretty cool. I mean, Gears of War is kind of my game, so. But I was very proud of that. A very, very proud moment of my life when I saw that. I was like, look at me. ZombiU survival god. Pretty sure it's cheap now, so I recommend checking it out. You know what? I would definitely recommend checking it out. I really loved it. You might not connect with it as much as I did, but if you're someone who, you know, likes a challenge and you like, you know, you like games that are tense and make you actually, you know, give a shit and you don't want to die, ZombiU is a game for you. And it's got a multiplayer mode, which is kind of cool. One player spawns the zombies and the other player's got to kill them. It's actually really fun. I might do some videos on it in the future. So if you have played ZombiU, leave me a comment in the comment section below what you thought of it. If you played last week's game, which was Skies of Arcadia, let me know what you think in the comment section as well. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.